Hey guys, it's Nathalie Domina. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you do not know who I am, I'm a Roman Catholic YouTuber, and I do YouTube videos on all things Catholicism. So if you're Protestant, Catholic, or whoever you are welcome here. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about all things Lent and Ash Wednesday, ideas of things to give up, what Ash Wednesday is, what Lent is, why do we do it, all the reasons, unheard facts that you don't know about Lent. I'm going to be explaining all this video. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe down below and like this video, and make sure you go follow me over on Instagram at nathaliedominacatholic for more Catholic content. Let's get on with the video. So as I'm sure many of you guys are aware, that Ash Wednesday is on Valentine's Day this year in 2024. So that's a little awkward. If you have a loved one that wants to give you candy, you have to say sorry, can't eat it because we are actually in a penitential season. So Ash Wednesday is the beginning of Lent. It is a day of prayer and fasting. We should not eat meat on Wednesday, and neither should we any Friday of Lent, or rather every Friday of the year, but you don't eat meat. You can have two small meals, breakfast and lunch, two small meals with no snacking in between, and then have a normal sized dinner. That is what the church calls for. It is a precept of the church, so if you are Catholic, you should abide by those rules. On Ash Wednesday, we receive ashes on our head that the priest or deacons or whoever, they actually take the palm branches that we use on Palm Sunday and they burn them so that they can turn into the ashes. So that's a cool little fun fact, that's where the ashes come from. The priest will bless you during some point in the Mass, and they will sign you with a cross on your forehead saying, "Remember, you are dust, and to dust you shall return." This obviously comes from thoughts of memento mori, thoughts of remember your death. Remember that you should be actually focusing on your immortal soul, because that is what will live on, not your body. So we should really be taking this time to worry about, what's going to happen in the afterlife. Not only is receiving these ashes a sign of looking interiorly, but also an external sign for those who are not Catholic, or for those who are Catholic but haven't been that practicing in a while, that it shows this is a day we actually are able to outwardly show we are Catholic, we're proud, and we're gonna wear this ash dirt like looking thing on our forehead in public all day. In the Bible, ashes actually marked a time of a turning point or a low point for human beings in those ancient times. They were times where people would have either come to this consensus on their own, or a prophet would have spoken to them, and they would have realized that they need to change their whole life around, because if they keep continuing in this direction, then they're going to end up in a very bad place. So the sign of ashes was a sign of remembering that we need to turn towards something, because the direction we're going in, we can't save ourselves. We need to turn to something that can save us, and obviously that is God. And so the reason we receive these ashes is so that we remember that we do have sin, and all we are dust. In the end, we're all going to die. But we remember that Christ wants to take that, and he blesses us in a shape of a cross, so that we remember that Christ takes this shame, he takes this dust, and he can make it into something glorious that will resurrect with him on Easter Sunday. Lent is also 40 days, as we know, for the time when Jesus was in the 40 days in the desert when he was being tempted by Satan. So don't get me wrong, this time of fasting is not going to be easy. The devil will use this time to get at you, to tempt you, just like he did with Christ. But we need to remember that Jesus is with us, and he has overcome the grave, and that through him all things are possible, and we just need to persevere. If you don't want to do your penance, do it. It doesn't matter if you want to or not, just do it, and it will help shape your mindset for the rest of this year. So during Lent, we can focus, if we're new at this, you can focus on just like giving up one thing or adding something to your spiritual life. But a good way, if you have done Lent before, a good practice to get in the habit of is to focus on 3 categories. Those categories are fasting, prayer, and almsgiving. So if you add one thing into each one of those categories and focus on that during this Lent, I promise you, your life will change. So prayer being either you're gonna pray for 5 minutes the second you get out of bed, or you're gonna read the Bible every day, or whatever you want to do, pray on the Hallow app every day, something like that. Then fasting, obviously, you could give up your bed. Last Lent, I gave up my bed for all of Lent, and I slept on the floor. And man, it was hard, but like, oh my goodness, that Easter Sunday going back in my bed, it was literally the most glorious day ever. And then we have almsgiving. That is either taking something out of your room each and every day and putting it in a box so that at the end of Lent, you will have 40 things to give away, or giving your time to an elderly neighbor. Anything like that could count as almsgiving. Sometimes we like to think of any one of these categories, prayer, fasting, or almsgiving, as more spiritual, like we're gonna do this spiritual thing, like almsgiving of prayer and stuff. And that's great if you want to pray or whatever. But what Lent really is supposed to be too is feeling it in our body, that like we need to rely more on God for even our bodily needs, because they will help our eternal needs. And so it's better to pick some more physical things for Lent, because it actually will help deepen our spiritual life, knowing that we are denying like our body, our appetites, and that by doing so, it actually makes us more raw. It makes us focus on the interior life. So that is all I have for you guys. Comment down below if you want. It could be a personal thing, but comment down below what you're giving up this Lent, and try to keep each other accountable. And yeah, make sure you go follow me over on Instagram at nathalie_domina for more Catholic content. And I love each and every one of you guys, and I wish you good luck on this Lenten journey. We all need to be praying for each other. I'll be praying for you guys, and please pray for me as well. St. Maximilian Kolbe, pray for us. Have a blessed day, y'all.